Yellow background with Stargardt's Connected logo showing a stylish eye with a star in the center. A text appears, Stargardt's Connected, raising awareness, giving support, seeking a cure. Professor Michel Michaelides, consultant ophthalmologist at Moorfields Eye Hospital and medical advisor to Stargardt's Connected. He is wearing a gray suit jacket and glasses.
I'm Professor Michaelides. I'm based at Moorfields Eye Hospital in London, where I see patients with Stargardt disease and other inherited retinal diseases. And Ethan's mum was the first person that took me up on my suggestion of setting up a Stargardt's charity, given it was always surprising to me that, given it's one of the most common inherited retinal diseases we see, that there wasn't a specific charity for Stargardt disease. And she did it, which is fantastic. And I've been able to help along the way with some recommendations, some advice on some of the medical and clinical aspects. But she's done all the heavy lifting.
Text on a yellow background reads, "How are you involved in Stargardt's Connected?"
So I'm the medical advisor. I provide quite a lot of the information that goes on the website, or I do a clinical fact-checking if there are things that need to go on there that are medical. I've done some of the online seminars, providing some information there, and of course I'm participating in the patient day-to-day.
Text on a yellow background reads, "How has Stargardt's Connected helped you in your work?"
Yeah, no, it's huge. I've been asking families for about 6 or 7 years before Bhavna did it, because it always was surprising. There wasn't anything specific, given it really is one of the most common conditions that we see. And it's wonderful to have a specific resource to direct patients to, in terms of online, to find information that's reliable. There are other websites, but to find information relevant to Stargardt is amongst hundreds of other pages about hundreds of other conditions. So it's not easy to find, and it wasn't bespoke, specific enough. But more than the information online, I found patients find the community really, really helpful. So I've only had good feedback whenever I direct all patients who have a pre-existing diagnosis or new diagnosis to Stargardt's Connected, and they always say how helpful it is to meet other people, have those discussions about their journey, get some advice, recommendations, just to know there are other people out there that are experiencing similar things and how they dealt with them and what was helpful, what was unhelpful, specialists to see, diets to do or not do, trials that may or may not be of interest. And so, it's been a fantastic resource. I think it's really been a dramatic improvement in the care we can provide patients.
Text on a yellow background reads, "What more can we do to help the community?"
I think these sorts of in-person days are brilliant, and of course we haven't been able to have them because of the pandemic. I think that face-to-face human interaction is really, really helpful. So I think having such an event annually, if possible, would be a really good thing to do. I think there is definite power and potential in more patients registering with Stargardt Connected, just to have some of their information stored in one place where we can be able to potentially share that with researchers or companies trying to develop therapies, or other authorities who may be looking to provide other forms of support for patients with visual impairment. So I think that's why, in fact, my experience has been that those registries can be very, very helpful and can actually motivate organisations to do things they otherwise wouldn't, because they don't realise what the scale of the problem is, or that there is motivation in the community, or that there is some contact point. And then in terms of fundraising and what Stargardt Connected do with that fundraising, I think for me, my suggestion would be it's more about the supportive type therapy services, be that practical in terms of low vision, technological assistive technologies, trying to provide access to those, or assessing which ones are helpful and which are less helpful, or what are the circumstances in which they might be helpful, and also providing more of that emotional, psychological support and counselling that isn't that readily available, either in the NHS or privately even. So when I've tried to suggest to patients to do that privately, there's a real shortage of therapists. So for me, that's where I think Stargardt's Connected could fill in a gap. Of course, most people Well, most charities feel they want to fundraise for research and, clinical trials. But, for me, that's I think that's being addressed there, and the scale of funding for those type of endeavours that might become interventions, approved therapies, is enormous. You're talking about tens or hundreds of millions of pounds. So pharmaceutical companies are very good at raising that kind of money. So I personally think the role of Start Connected is more about providing the individuals that it serves with the support that currently is lacking pragmatically.
Text on a yellow background reads, anything you'd like to say that we didn't talk about?
No, I mean, I hope it goes from strength to strength. I see no reason for it not to. I'd like it to become global and have a wider reach. There are, hundreds of thousands of patients that haven't got any idea Stargardt Connected exists. Some countries have their own Stargardt foundations. It would be good for Start Connected to maybe try and collaborate with them and form some type of partnership. But accessing more patients and families would be wonderful.
Text on a yellow background reads, visit stargartsconnected.org.uk to find out more about our community. On the bottom, Stargardt's Connected logo shows a stylish eye with a star in the center. A text appears, Stargardt's Connected, raising awareness, giving support, seeking a cure.